Welcome to the Inspired Riding Podcast. I'm your host, Beth Lauren Parrish. As a certified riding instructor, remote coach, and rapid transformational therapy practitioner, a powerful form of hypnotherapy, I'm here to remind you to slow down, trust your intuition, and really deeply listen to your horse. And this will make for the best co-creative dances possible, whether you're on the ground or connecting on their backs. Thank you so much for being here, and here we go. Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the Partner with Your Mind series on the Inspired Riding Podcast. I'm so glad you're still here with me. I took a little break during my birthday month, and now I'm back into it to help you discover what limiting beliefs you might have had when you were a child, or maybe even in the womb, and why this is important for you to understand now. In all of the rapid transformational therapy sessions that I offer, the process involves getting to the root cause of a problem by checking in with past experiences. And most of the time, the very first scene can be anywhere between the ages of 5 or 6, sometimes 8 or 9. That's often usually the very first scene that comes up. Of course, it's different with each person. During the younger period of time, you might have an adult say something to you, and you just created a meaning behind it. Let's say, for instance, they were just outside playing, and you had like a grandma come out and say, "Oh, you need to come in now. It's not safe for you to be out here." So that little mind might start running a program, if you think of your mind like a computer, that being outside is not safe. And then later on in life, things might happen and you're wondering why you're not wanting to put yourself out there in your business, or perhaps you're just afraid to go on a trip and leave home for a while. And it might still be from that voice you heard when you were younger saying it's not safe to be outside. So it could be something as simple as that. Now, it could also be really complex, and that's where I really love rolling up my sleeves in these sessions. You might actually have an experience where you're like, I don't see anything. It's very dark, but I'm hearing things. Oftentimes that means you're going back to a memory in the womb. So when you're in the womb, of course, you can hear things and you can feel things, but you might not necessarily be able to see anything. And we often get a lot of feedback from our mothers when we're in the womb and from any outside voices that we can hear. Now, if the mother's going through any kind of turmoil, any kind of anxiety, that will then translate to a feeling that perhaps it's not safe to be going out into the world. Now, can you imagine that's your running program before you're even born? It's not safe to be here. Unfortunately, that happens to a lot of people. And once you actually discover this in hypnotherapy, it becomes so powerful, because then you can go back and tell your younger self, hey, it's safe now. I've survived and I'm ready to have fun. And I promise you that all is going to be well. So once you can actually connect to your younger self that way, it's incredibly healing. I'm going to give you another really clear example, especially if you're a business owner and perhaps you've been afraid to raise your prices, or something about it just really makes you shaky. It could be from when you were younger and you were asking your parents to raise your allowance, or simply asking for something that was maybe out of their reach. Perhaps your parents were feeling stressed about money, or they just really didn't want to hear it from you and they were just in a mood, and maybe they just said something like, "We don't have the money for that," or "You already get enough. You should be grateful for what you have." Things like that. So when it comes time to raising your prices, you almost feel like you're being a burden and maybe you shouldn't ask for more. See how that works? So that was the running program since you were younger. So then what you need to do is tell your younger self, hey, I know that was the circumstances then, but we're in a different world now. You're in my world now. You're an adult. You no longer depend on these adults to help you. So what you can do now is explain the value that you offer with your services, with your products. And you can invite your clients and your customers to pay the prices that you feel is fair. And once you start to shift your whole thought process on pricing, because you realized that you don't need to hold on to those old beliefs that you don't deserve more, or that you're being a burden to someone by asking for more money, things can really take off for you. So you see, it's very subtle, the things that we put meaning on, but then it really starts to run the show behind the scenes without you even realizing it. And these limiting beliefs are there in your subconscious mind, and you might not even know it's there. And so that's why this type of therapy is so incredibly rewarding, so incredibly enlightening. So hopefully that makes sense for you to realize whatever's been holding you back, it might be something that had happened when you were younger or even in the womb that has been running the show silently. And now we get to bring it to light. So I want to share something with you a little more unique. It's kind of like a surprise. I didn't actually put it in the description. But there was a time where I decided it would be really amazing to do an RTT session with my animals, just to get to the root cause or the reason for certain things that were going on with them. So I have a beautiful friend, really talented animal communicator, Jana Wagner, and she and I teamed up to actually connect with our animals to find out what was going on with them. And I want to share what happened with Pepper Pony. So there was some time where I was having trouble getting Pepper to move forward. Like he just felt like he was stalling out. And I was being as patient as I could. And I really didn't want to use too much pressure. I just felt like if I could just be patient and just give him the energy that he needed from me, then he would be able to move out. Because he really was a beautiful forward-moving pony. But when I sat on him, there were times where I felt like he was like holding back, almost like he was just trying to take care of me in a way, which is a beautiful thing because I think he obviously knows that I had some injuries and I'm not always feeling 100% in my body, although I do my best to stay as balanced as possible. So basically, we went through a process of questioning so that way we could really hone in on what we needed to learn about his past. So we wanted to know the root cause and the reason for his stickiness, his unwillingness to move forward when I was riding him. And the most amazing images came up for Jana, and she started to explain what Pepper was looking at in his past. And one of the first scenes that came up was when he was very young. He was maybe 2 years old, maybe even just a year and a half old. They had a toddler come to visit him, and they put the toddler like in the stall with him, which to me I think is a little dangerous with a young horse anyway, but that's the image he was showing us. And they were kind of explaining to him that he was going to be her pony and that he needed to take impeccable care of her. And so he had this like fear of not wanting to step on her. So he was like stock still. He just wouldn't move. And so that was kind of something that he had internalized when he was younger. So this often happens, of course, to people. And I wanted to just share this because I know a lot of horse people are listening to this. And whether you believe in this or not, it was just really enlightening for us. So fast forward to the next scene where he was basically a lesson pony. And he had a lot of kids asking him to go forward with a little kick on the belly, and then also being nervous about him going too fast and then pulling back on the reins. So he was getting a lot of mixed messages. Forward, stop, forward, stop. So he just started feeling like he really couldn't move out the way he needed to move properly. So those were the couple scenes that came up that were really interesting. So we then invited him to release that and to let him know that I really could handle when he was moving out, that I am a good rider and that it would be safe. And he basically told us that he needed me to give him a very clear signal that I wanted to go. And we came up with making a whooshing sound, like whoosh, whoosh, let's go. And he was like, yes, I'm on it. And ever since then, anytime I really want a little more energy, all I need to do is make that sound. And it's like, oh, the next gear pops in. It's really amazing. So like I said, whether you believe it or not, we got to the point where I really was so happy because we found the magic key of what he needed to realize it was safe to move forward with me. And we have a lot more fun now. So I thought it would be fun to share that little moment with you, because I know there are a lot of kind equestrians out there that want to find new ways of moving with their horses and connecting with their horses. So that's how we combined our skills. And I think it's just so amazing when you can collaborate with other wonderful professionals who understand where you're coming from, and they don't condescend, and they're very interested in learning new ways. And that's the way I am, of course, and that's why I became a rapid transformational therapy practitioner. I wanted to find the most empowering tools for my clients. So there you go. If you have any questions about this, I'd love for you to reach out. You can check out my special page just for this podcast series. It's 𝙼𝙤𝙧𝙨, DUDE. And if this is the first one you're listening to, I always love to use the word dude because it reminds me of just lightening up and connecting to source energy and just having a lot more fun. So I have friends that actually named their pony Dude in honor of me when we were having fun together at a clinic, because I would just look at them and we would all smile and I'd go, dude, and then we'd just start laughing. So it's just that moment of being lighthearted, and I think we all need that more, don't you think? So there you go. So check out inspiredriding.com/dude. And there you'll learn how to get a clarity call with me. And there's a lot of really fun, free goodies on that page as well. So do check it out. If you enjoyed this little short podcast today, please share it with your friends. And do create a review on whichever platform you're listening to. I would so appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening. And remember to lead with kindness for yourself and for your horse. And may the horse be with you always.